Whereas race 1, the inside line was on the outside. And it's a go. You can see in the back row, Abdullah Yusuf is already making gains from P7. It looks like he's making a move on Vikmal. Curio guards the inside, but we have Yeshan coming down the inside into turn 1. There is contact from behind. Andrew Sean is sent wide. Can he correct it? He has somehow managed to keep it out of the runoff area. Into turn 1, and Vikmal has been the grid. We have Curio, who's kept the lead. Sorry, we have Yeshan, who's actually taken. Oh, and everybody missing their braking point into the second chicane. We have Vikmal, who's at the back. Everything is happening in this first lap. We have Yeshan, who's managed to keep the lead now. We have Andrew Sean, who's come back to be P2. Abdullah Yusuf from the back of the grid has managed to make his way up all the way up into P3. I feel like Shanu has just made a blunder at the back in P6. We have a move by Yusuf. He will get the switch back. This is brilliant driving from Yusuf. Making a switchback move in the Parabolica on Andrew Sean. It's side by side down the main straight. And yes, Andrew Sean trying to get in the slipstream of Yeshan, trying to make a move around the outside. This may not work, but he's outbraked himself. He might make contact. There is significant contact between Andrew Sean and was that Yeshan into turn 1. Abdullah Yusuf has just gone from P7 to P1 in the space of a lap. It looks like Yeshan has managed to survive that contact, but he might have some rear end damage. We have Yannick. And it's Vikmal going around the outside of Andrew Sean. Will he make the move? He has. Vikmal Ranasinghe making the move on the race 1 winner, Andrew Sean. Andrew Sean undoubtedly must have some damage from that first corner incident. Seems to be flying away from the grid. However, Yeshan and Yannet might be coming. Oh, and that is Yannet on a controller, doing a great job keeping up with the pace of the top runners on a controller. Oh, we have Andrew Sean making a comeback on Vikmal Ranasinghe, the pro versus the rookie. Andrew Sean, can he make the move work this time? He'll try and will he send it into the Parabolica? He might just. No. Vikmal defending aggressively into the Parabolica. He wants to keep his position. He's run a little wide, so Vikmal's going to be under severe pressure from Andrew Sean. And Vikmal making some serious defensive moves on Andrew Sean. They go side by side into turn 1, the Ferrari versus the McLaren. Oh, the Ferrari has some slow straight line speed due to the damage, but he makes a late braking move down the inside of Vikmal. Vikmal sadly loses his P6 just after getting it the previous lap, but he is struggling as this is his first time running the ACC game. Shanu. Vikmal though, holding his own, he's making a good comeback and keeping up with Andrew Sean. Regardless of the damage Andrew Sean has, and Vikmal could have a good run on Andrew Sean into the Parabolica chicane. Will he go for a move into the Parabolica? He might just do so. No, he thinks wiser of it. Oh no! There is contact. There is grasps everywhere from race control. Everybody on the edge of their toes. As Vikmal still behind Andrew Sean. Andrew Sean, obviously, as we know, is compromised by a lack of straight line speed due to his front fender damage from contact on the first and third laps. We need him right on board with this battle though, as Vikmal late braking keeps it out. He had a little bit of a lockup. He might just get in the gravel. Oh, that's a shame. Vikmal just getting his right front into the gravel. But this will unleash Andrew Sean to go chasing after Mohammed Shanu now. As Curio is pitting. There are no mandatory pit stops, so very concerned why Curio has decided to pit. It does not look like he has too much damage. Yannet has made a small mistake by the looks of it. It's a really close three-way fight now, as Yannet is only just in front of Mohammed Shanu. Mohammed Shanu now has gone from defending to potentially attacking for the podium position of Yannet. Can Yannet in the Garage 59 car control his pace? You could see him sliding into the Ascari chicane. He's on the gravel. This might just be a mistake. Can he hold it? There's also a spin from Yeshan. And somehow, after all that, after everything that's taken place, Andrew Sean is now into P2. This is unbelievable scenes here at Monza. Andrew Sean has just managed to guide his way through into P2. So we'll look back at a replay here. We see Yeshan in the Ferrari in P5 or in P4. He's gone wide. Will he touch the sausage curb? Oh, he's at oversteer and he's into the wall. That will be bad damage. Ideally, he should have probably come into the pits this lap itself to try and fix it. My guess is he will try to run with that broken front fender. We might just see Yeshan head off into the pits. We do. Yeshan is coming in for a pit stop. Chain. Repair some damage. He may just come out around Curio, which could build up to a nice little battle. No, Curio is already making his way around the Parabolica. We can see on the track map, Yeshan is still making his way down the pit lane. Curio will undoubtedly get past. Is there Yusuf in the pit lane? Abdullah Yusuf is in the pit lane, which is very strange. But he could ideally come out in the lead even after a pit stop. Is he out of fuel? I'm told that these cars can last a full hour. Or maybe he has underfueled in this race and had to pit. But ideally, he might still be able to come out ahead of Andrew Sean. This is exactly what we needed for this race, to make this race very interesting. As Yusuf is heading out of the pits now. And so Yusuf, who had more pace, will now be on the chase with his remaining 5 minutes of running. He'll actually come out behind Shanu as well. Shanu will come out alongside, and he is behind Shanu. Now, 5 minutes left, the race just got interesting. But you can see the gap between Yusuf and Shanu is already dropping. Yusuf utilizing that BMW's capabilities of getting over these rumble strips and over the curves. He is catching at a rate of knots. Will he make a move into the Parabolica itself? I highly doubt he'll make such a risky move into the Parabolica, but you never know. Will he go for a move? He is. He goes for the move. Shanu just has to keep it neat and tidy, maybe get the switch back, but it looks like Yusuf has already got the move done and dusted. So now we see, can Yusuf push and gain that 7 seconds? He has roughly 2 to 3 laps left of running in this race. 7 seconds in 2 or 3 laps. Will he be able to manage it? With the damage of Andrew Sean, will he be able... Oh, Andrew Sean has gone off from the lead of the race. And Yusuf is right back into the lead. All that build-up for Andrew Sean, and he's made a mistake. We'll check a replay after a little bit, but Andrew Sean will now try to make his way back on Shanu. Andrew Sean, lap 19. What's happened here? Okay, so he's heading into the Valiante chicane. He's late on the brakes, he's skidding the back end, but surely that's not where... Oh, is it the second curb? Indeed it is. Just mounted the second curb way too much in that Ferrari, which is known to bottom out over those curbs. And he's just made things much easier for Abdullah Yusuf, who had 7 seconds to catch on him. And now he's back to having to overtake his fellow colleague, Mohamed Shanu. As Andrew Sean now makes his way back up, following in the slipstream of Mohamed Shanu. I don't think he will go for a move into the Valiante chicane. It would be quite a audacious move. He's going for it. He's going for it, and he's backed out of it. Very smart move to back out of that move. That'll be it. The timer has gone down almost an extra lap for Abdullah Yusuf after all that. And Abdullah Yusuf wins race 2 from the back of the grid. Mohamed Shanu comes home in P2. And Andrew Sean, with 2 vital mistakes in the final 2 laps, has dropped from P1 to a distant 3rd. We have Yannet. Oh, it's a battle! Vikmal. Can Vikmal steal P4 on the final lap? It's a late move from Vikmal. Will he go around the outside? Oh no! He keeps it. He keeps it out of the gravel trap. There is a squealing. There's a big bit of oversteer for Yannet. Can he get him over the line? Oh, almost. As Vikma almost secures P4 over the line. And Yashan comes over the line to finish. Curio is still yet to come over the line. He is heading up into the Parabolica chicane. However, he is a lap ahead of Yashan, so Curio actually finishes ahead of Yashan in proceedings in P6. Vikmal doing his own little donuts. He's having a good time here. He's doing donuts after the race. Almost secured P4. And that is the end of proceedings today. Thank you very much for tuning into the evaluation races for the Nippon Paint Race at Home CMSC Championship. The first round, there will be another evaluation race in the future, as the likes of Brian Pereira, Angelo Senaratna, and many more are still yet to come. But until next time, we will, after the second evaluation race, the first round of the championship will take place very soon, possibly within this month, and all the drivers will be keen to mark themselves at the top of this grid, as the prize pool for this championship will be a whopping 50,000 rupees. So everybody, please come take part in these evaluation races if you wish to take part in the championship and have a chance and have a shot at 50,000 rupees. Until next time, adios.